Namaskar, this is Suraj Singh in continuation to my talks on site engineer responsibilities regarding earthquake management. I'll continue now. I was just narrating about the construction joint. Construction joint is not correctly fixed. The location should either be indicated on the drawing or should be agreed with the resident engineer prior to commencement of the pour. Construction joint is not correctly hacked or scaffold before laying concrete is laid. Do not run fast but chip out the joint's surface to expose aggregates by removing latent and then proceed for laying concrete forming work. It's very important. Standby vibrators should be made available. It should not be missed, and actually no concrete should be started until standby vibrators is available in working condition. It should be checked prior to commencement of the concrete. It's very, very important. Concrete should not be stopped because of absence of standby vibrator. Then the next important point is curing. Now, curing doesn't start in time. It's not start in. Curing is not continuous as required. However, requires immediate curing, particularly on exposed or unformed surfaces. It cannot be done by spraying curing compound. Even it's not done just to save money. Polythene sheet can also be spread on concrete surface. Curing should be effectively carried out to the defined duration by personal attention of site engineer. Curing is not completed for the required period as specified. It's ignored. Do not ignore curing. Ignorance can cause major problem. A non-conformance report can be issued on this account by the quality engineer. And there will be no solution to close the NCR. That's non-conformance report. There's no way. It's easy to pour concrete, but extremely expensive and difficult to dismantle and rebuild. Just keep in mind, it's very important. Incorrect cut rebars are forced to be placed in and unusually bent. Prepare good BBS, that is bar bending schedule, prior to starting cutting and bending or fabrication of rebars. Bar bending schedule can be produced on Excel sheet if required, using required formula to give the cutting length. It's very important. It should be shown with the code shapes if codes are available for that. I generally used to produce this schedule using BBS 446, which are later converted to 866. Well, the equivalent one may be available here according to any codes. Well, steps are not rightly centered. Do proper fixing work. The steps are very important. It is rightly centered. The work is not correctly centered. Should be centered properly. Don't be in a hurry. Have a check on everything. Reverse supporting chairs are not rightly cut and fixed. There's a very good support should be there. Check before fabrication of required dimensions. Do not bend to fix those more confidently. Reverse fixing is a complex activity. Make sure that it's carried out correctly. Rebars are not well secured. Bind parts properly without worrying about the binding wire cost. Check fixing arrangements over all joints. Tie bolts are not tightened properly. Use correct dimensions for the tie bolts and fix properly as required. Plumb is not inspected to the standards. It is a difficult exercise to inspect dimensions, locations, and verticality, but should be conducted particularly for elements to bear equipment on them or where physics is involved. Except previous concrete is not chipped out in time. Site should be kept tight in all respects. Chip all surplus required concrete. Holes are not left for the cleaning out dust from the forms. It's practically required to dust out the preparatory works using compressor to clean out the preparatory works before the concrete starts and section is completed. Flash shedding is not Flash setting is not prevented. Use water to be sprayed on the forms to keep the temperature low before concrete starts. When steel bar is hot, concrete is cold. Combination generates flash setting of concrete, which should be avoided. Cold joints are wrongly allowed, incorrectly allowed. Sequence should be made as such that concrete repetition is done fast in hot conditions. Time gap should be controlled to combat the formation of cold joints. Concrete is collected at one spot for longer than required. Do not pool up concrete at one location. It is dangerous for preparatory works as well as for scaffolding. Pulling is not recommended. Pulling of concrete, I'm talking, is not recommended. Workers add additional water to soften the concrete due to delayed following pour. Do not allow such additions of water. It is dangerous for the concrete. Remedial actions are required. Remedial actions on the defects are carried by the site staff without even informing the site engineers. Keep an eye on foreman, supervisor, and the personnel who are responsible for the concrete activity. Formwork is struck before the defined time or agreed time. Record the dates the concrete register for all pours. Record all test results, recall all curing dates. Concrete blocks are shifted from factory to site within 3 days of production. Dew curing is not allowed. Cure the blocks prior to being tested and permanently enclosed. Plaster and bricks are not procured or even not available. Procure good bricks or blocks. Avoid using weak bricks. Wooden planks are used for formwork without leaking joints. Better suggested to use ply for good results. Formwork is not correctly labeled. Set out the formwork properly. Check all lines and labels thoroughly. Grouting for the structural steel bases that are generally RCC foundations requires a good control as it is cement-based material. Similarly, grouting for under the anchorage plates requires good control. Do not go ahead for any work where doubts exist, either in the specification or in the designs. Obtain clarified answers in the form of site technical queries before carrying out the ambiguous items. Work should be done correctly. Any concrete laid by mistake or not to the drawings or not to the specifications can cause all the problems for the site engineer. It is emphasized that these points should be considered in due spray. Carrying out the better work on controls shall definitely produce a good concrete. Work that would serve to the required and desired durability for the whole structure of the buildings. Patients stays on site. Panic harms the works. Plan properly all day to the activities. Progress is required but not at quality cost. Safety and desired durability for the whole structure. Safety first slogan has to be applied in all respects. Safety is the responsibility of one and everyone and all. So site engineer is very well highly responsible to execute the works to personal responsibility. No ignorance, no neglect has to be accepted. I wish all site engineers to learn and do the job to the requirement so that we can make strong buildings and strong concrete. Thank you very much for your attention. Thanks.